Hi, this is an introduction to mindfulness and meditation. If you missed my first pod, this is going to continue in a more introductory phase of developing your focus and having an awareness of some tools that one can use to help enhance your focus, to help your meditation techniques. Firstly, the most important thing that we can do is actually make an attempt, is actually be here, is to be involved in our practice, to take a few moments out of your day and research yourself, research from your perspective, the world around you, the world inside of you. How do we do that? We make the time to bring silence into our lives, into our minds. We put down our cell phones. We clear our minds of other matters, responsibilities, our civilized lives are involved with. We just become involved with the here and now. What's going on here? What's going on now? Okay? This is the beginning of the seeding for your mind and for your body. There are historical procedures that are utilized to relax, to calm, to make at ease your physical being and your mental being. And this is what we're practicing with. Things that will allow you to open yourself to what is. We know so much more than what we usually take for granted, because we take it for granted. We take for granted our breathing, our heart's pulsing. We take for granted the universe around us. We take for granted everything. A lot of the times, most of us, come on, there's always exceptions. We take it for granted. So again, meditation and mindfulness is what? Self-realization. What is self-realization? Hello? There it is. Self-realization. Self-revelation. It is all this. It is all common sense. One begins their practice by having the desire to know more about what is unknown. And this is a goal. This is something that sits figuratively before you, is that you want to accomplish more, you want to learn more, you want to improve yourself. This goal, this aspiration, is the mother and father of your practice. It is the most important aspect of it, because your practice is only as valuable as the amount of time and energy you invest in it. One needs to nourish the idea, the concept, the practice, and of spending dedicated time in learning to improve themselves. Be mindful of this. You must put the energy in. You must create new habits, and you need to do it in a harmonious and beneficial way for yourself, that you want to do this. You must create this desire, this aspiration in your heart. You must strengthen it in your soul. Every time you practice, every time you have a moment and think about this, put it in terms to your own being, to your own mind, to your own inner communication, that you want to nourish yourself, that you want to plant seeds in your being for self-improvement, to better the qualities that you have, that you possess. If you are patient a little bit, you want to learn to be patient more. Okay, things like this. So recapping, we've talked about the importance of having a goal and of nurturing it in a positive manner. Look at yourself as you think and understand yourself as you think, and coordinate your thinking so that you are attaching positivity to your practice. This is what I'm saying. Now that we are here, let's put that aside. We've arrived. We're ready to go. we are finding a comfortable posture, preferably one where you are seated. In this way, if you sit upright with your spinal column erect, you will find that you can be very relaxed like this. And if you're not, then move around a little bit gently in a circle, one way or the other. Move around, forwards and back, and find a comfortable spot for your buttocks to sit. If your feet are on the floor, fine, or if they're cross-legged, that works too. If you're standing, it's okay, or laying down, it doesn't matter. But I would say for most of us, it's better, and to begin, it is better to be seated so that we are most attentive. When we are sitting upright, we are more attentive, right? And the reason why we want to be with our spines more erect is that each of the vertebrae rests in the one beneath it, and this helps us relax. If we're leaning to one side or the other, what happens? You get all kinds of tension in different muscle groups. Okay, so you understand that now. Or if you're forward or back. If you're backward, you may want to put a bolster or a pillow or a rolled up towel underneath the rear of your buttocks, underneath your sacrum. It works. You also may very well, once you have gained this posture, want to lift up your shoulder and roll your shoulder blades back so that you expose your chest. By doing so, you allow the volume of air that reaches into your lungs to expand, because it's like a balloon. You're not trying to hold the balloon into a certain shape. You're allowing it to expand on its own. Okay. Oftentimes people like to attach their tongue to the roof of their mouth, or close their eyes, or open and close them as they wish. This is what I consider to be the beginning of finding a comfortable posture. Being undisturbed in this position is very important too, because energy follows attention. If we are attending to our journey that we are taking here together, then that's one thing. If you are constantly being interrupted, then the journey's value diminishes, because you have to go back and forth. So being undisturbed is obviously important. So far, so good. It wasn't so hard to do any of these things. But now we need to settle ourselves and to bring ourselves to a state of silence. And oftentimes people have more difficulty with this step in our evolution of our practice. Yes, I'm expecting that. And yes, there are simple and easy tools that we can utilize to overcome this small bump in the road, or in your posture, and you're undisturbed, and your mind's going every which way. To be expected. That's where we start to use our tools. Evolution has given us these tools. The concept of respiration, of our breathing, the concept of our circulation, our blood being pumped by a beating heart, and through the activities of these two processes of our actual life, our actual energetic being. So we have three tools that we can utilize right away, today, now, to help us in our journey. So being in this posture and undisturbed, feeling yourself. Right? To get into this posture, you need to be aware of yourself. So what is your temperature? Do you consider it warm or cold, or just right? What is it that your skin is in contact with? What kind of textures do you feel? Do you smell anything, or have a taste in your mouth? Do you hear anything besides my voice? Your breathing? Or maybe something else? Do you have your eyes open, or are they closed? If they're closed, do you see the hints of light coming through your closed eyelids? Or do you have a visualization that your mind has created? Or are your eyes open, and are you seeing shadows and depths, colors? What's going on with this physicality of yours? taking a few moments and investigating your breathing process, your respiration, is in store for us. It is part of this historical process that has been going on for thousands of years. Do you know why? Because of evolution. Because the process of breathing is 500 million years old. Because this process is much older than you are, whatever chronological birth age you are, right? I said 500 million years old is when mammals first began to flourish on the land. So our forebears, our ancestors, all the way back to this time, to these events occurring. This process has been developing for this long. It is a foundation, just as the pulse is a foundation, and just as life itself in its own unique way for each of us is a foundation. These three elements, these three tools in themselves, along with just being more perceptive, more aware, are enough to catapult you into another sense of perspective. And this is where we're heading for. Maybe not today, but soon, in a short time. Okay? How long should a practice be? I like to think of a practice as being 14 minutes. And that's my benchmark. 14 minutes is a little bit less than 1% of your day, of a 24-hour day. 1,440 minutes make up a day. So 1/100th of that is 14.4, so 14 minutes. I've rounded it off. Yet, as a beginner, if that's what you are, I think that 5 minutes is more appropriate. It gives you a chance to get a taste of this and to start slowly. And as you nurture your practice and your conception of your practice, I think that you're going to find that you want to do it more. And then with your increased aspiration and goals, increasing it to 10 minutes or to 14 minutes or to once in a while longer periods, whatever, half an hour, 2 hours. It's up to you. They're all good if you're feeling good in your practice and you're accomplishing something positive. Then, hello. This is what life is about, right? This is what we're shooting for. We want to enjoy our lives. We want to improve our lives. We want to excel. Even if we want to muddle through, we want to do it with our heads held high, feeling that we're accomplishing and providing for ourselves, for our families, for our friends, for our societies. We're running out of time for the 14 minutes today, so we're going to go over a little bit, a minute, that's it. I just want you to realize as well that as much as we're going through this process in the manner that I have in the introductory first podcast and now in this podcast, that the podcast is going to evolve because we don't want to keep having the introduction forever. We want to move on to meatier things. I think that most, if not all of you, are interested in deepening your meditation and your mindfulness and increasing the depth of your perspective, and to know thyself and to thine own self be true are terms that you want to investigate. So we're going to do that. Not right now, but we're going to, I'm giving you a fair warning that that's where we're heading. Okay? You take care and have a nice day. Be happy, smile, rise, smile, shine, and the healthiness of your being. These are, again, create brightness in your being. Be happy.